He's gonna come at us.
Oh, okay. Hey, everybody. So we're waiting for Dr. Deutsch to come and join us. So many people. This is fun. This is my first time doing this. I still don't... There's Brian. Hi, Brian. Brian Atwood, who is Dr. Deutsch's husband. The handsomest couple ever. Is he here, Kate? There's 15,000 people on here. This is cool. I know, I'm like really, you guys, this is my first time going live. So, yep, here he is. Woo! Waiting for Dr. Deutsch. So anyway, until he gets on, you guys, Dr. Deutsch asked me to go live with him to talk to all of you about the social distancing. I know many of you are following the rules and practicing social distancing, but I think Dr. Jake just wanted us to get together on the phone and stress the importance of this. And he talks a lot about flattening the curve, and he talks a lot about the federal government not giving us a very clear, super strict directive, which is that everybody really needs to practice social distancing. And we have to take this seriously, and young people more than anybody else. Because I think if you're healthy and you feel okay and you're young, then, you know, it's a little easy to go stir crazy and jump into the social distancing. But like Dr. Jake said, we really need to flatten this curve. It's feeling good and not taking it seriously that is going to make this spike, and it's going to make this a 6-month problem rather than hopefully maybe only a few month problem. But where is he? He's still not here. Kate? Oh, there he is. Hi.
Woo!
Woo, we did it.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for setting that up. How are you doing?
I'm doing great now that I got through that, now that I have you here. I started talking briefly before you were on just about the message that you want to get out there about the young people and the social distancing, but
Absolutely. I mean,
please take it away.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the power of social media is our best defense. Making sure people take this seriously, make sure people make their own decisions, and actually socially distance, no matter what the government is saying, is going to be the best way we can combat coronavirus. And that means people are going to have to take a hard line. It's scary. Nobody wants to be isolated. Everybody has important things that are going on in their life, but we all need to just stop, we need to reset, and we need to take action. And the biggest population that can make a difference are going to be the Generation Z, the Generation X, who are already used to not socially gathering. It's okay to text. That's how people communicate. So stay home, make it cool amongst your friends that you're the, you know, you're setting the standard. And that's going to be the message that we can get out there. We don't want to wait until it's too late to start taking action. When have we ever let the government decide how we're going to take care of ourselves? We can make a difference.
Exactly. Doctor, why don't you talk a little bit about who you are and where your practice is and
Sure.
how you got started in medicine, just so everybody knows
So
more about you.
I'm an ER doctor, so I'm board certified in emergency medicine. I have a practice in New York City that's urgent care. I started taking care of people in a hospital for 13 years before starting my own practice. So, you know, I've been on the front lines of many illnesses, taking care of hundreds of thousands and thousands of people. So I know it's super scary for people, but we need to have correct information. We need to have a sense of calm. We need to have people doing what they can. And really, this is what people can do. Worrying about getting tested is not the solution. If you think about the example, if you have a negative test, so what? you could still go home and be exposed if you aren't isolating. So it's more about isolating, and hopefully we'll get mass testing rolled out. We'll be able to get testing that people could do from their car and under controlled systems. And that way we can get a real sense of the numbers, but we're not going to be exhausting the healthcare system. We're not going to be exposing people unnecessarily. And more importantly, we're going to be able to change the course of this. I mean, how much more empowering is that if we could change the course and not just sit back and wait for somebody to tell us, oh, it's too late and we should have done more?
I think that's a great point because so I have, 3 small kids, and to say that I am trying not to look at the news or anything like that, but I have been quite anxious about this. And it's not, the staying in that's making me anxious. It's the state of the planet and the world that's making me anxious for my kids. So I've been having trouble sleeping. But I love the idea of empowerment. Obviously, that's a theme in my life. I try to keep it a theme because I really feel like, the power of positivity and empowering ourselves to take control of this is really something personally that I feel like lifts my mood. And,
right. That's why everybody has so much anxiety, Ellen. I mean, that's why everybody feels helpless. And if you're able to do something that is going to make a change, and it's so simple as just staying home, that can help with some of these symptoms that people are feeling, the anxiety that people are feeling. So that is extremely powerful. And, I think that our young people have an obligation to each other, to the elderly, to people that are, have other illnesses that we have to be protecting. So yes, we can empower our youth. We can empower everybody to take a stand and make it cool to socially isolate, to stay home.
Also, it's like, the idea of staying home sort of is like, oh, well, there's nothing to do. But the act of staying home is doing something. You are doing something. You are being active. You are staying in the moment. You are forced to be present.
Right.
And you're forced to look inside of yourself, even if you're in a 1-bedroom apartment in New York City. You're forced to sort of look inside of yourself and see what power you can manifest, what you can do, and how you can be a part of keeping this, like you say, keeping this flat and
right.
having spikes on the healthcare system.
Thank God we have the technology to communicate like this. We're able to still connect with people. I mean, I feel like I'm in the same room with you, and you're in California, I'm in New York. So, it's really not that big of an ask. And, a 2-week vacation, if you had said to somebody 6 months ago, hey, guess what, you could stay home for 2 weeks, I think most people would have been very happy about that. So, we got to look at it that way and do whatever we can to make a difference. So, I'm really asking everybody to spread this message. I really appreciate you taking the time to go live, your first live with such an important message. And, we can continue just to replicate this and think about the power that we have. I mean, we have, a couple thousand cases. If we can halt the replication of this and the spread of this, because we use this voice, much more powerful than the government that's waiting to see what numbers look like before they start to really be reactionary. I think that that's incredible. I think that would be such a positive win on the side of our social context that everybody, has always said is like social media is a bad thing. It might actually prove to be useful in treating something as serious as a medical illness.
For sure. And I have to say that I'm so blessed to have all these fans that I have for 16 seasons on my show. And usually when I ask them to step up and do something, whether it's donate to an animal rescue or anything, they're right alongside me. So right. I'm so happy to see so many of you on here live with us. And I don't ask for a lot, but when I do ask, I really want them to come through. So send me, can you guys comment on live? Like, I want to see who's staying home. I want to hear what you're doing.
Yeah.
Let me know.
They could
Send
comment.
me a heart emoji if you're home and you're practicing social distancing and you're giving me what I want. This is what we're asking for.
And we could, on my stories, I posted, if you think you need a test, then you need to stay home. We could have people repost that. That's the message that it doesn't matter what kind of test you have. If you're otherwise healthy, stay home. If you have mild symptoms, stay home. Let's do the responsible thing.
Okay, so if you have mild symptoms, We should stay home no matter what. I'm seeing a lot of hearts. Thank you so much, guys. This is amazing. I'm Italian and I'm staying home from Italy. Ciao. Um, so you should stay home no matter what. But if you're feeling mild symptoms, you should stay home. When do you think we need to go out and get a test? What would you suggest? And do you know any how you could find tests? Because I do know a few people here in Los Angeles who are not feeling well, who aren't able to get tests. So
Sure.
speak to that.
So, yeah, I mean, once we have mass testing, that's going to change everything. When people can roll up in their car, roll down their window, have the correct protective gear for the people that are exposing themselves, then everybody that needs a test should get tested so we can have a sense of epidemiology. But for now, when we have people that have symptoms and they're just, healthy, mild symptoms, seems like just a cold or flu, just do the right thing and stay home. You could go get a test that could be negative, that's a false negative. You could have a test that's negative that tomorrow you'd be exposed. It doesn't change what we're recommending. It's all about staying home and staying isolated. We talked about somebody who was quite famous that had a recent negative test and then went out and was, doing their regular activity. That's irresponsible right now. That's what we're trying to get people to understand, that it's about, no matter what, staying home and trying to flatten the curve.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I think the younger generation who maybe doesn't feel as much at risk, we always talk about how powerful all of you are and how the future is yours and the future is in your hands. I mean, this is really, I think, a really good time to show an example of how strong you can really be. We talk about a lot with voting. But really, there are so many young people, and you really have a chance to take your power back right now. Take
Absolutely.
your power back from this administration who's really negligent in the way they're handling this. And none of us should be okay with just sort of leaving it up to them.
Yeah, complacency is not the answer right now. Taking action, spreading the word, being a leader. I think it's pretty cool that anybody could be a leader when they say, you know what, I'm going to socially isolate. I'm going to self-quarantine. That is really empowering. And that's the message that we need to get across to every single American.
Yeah, and I'm seeing I'm a smoker and I have asthma. I didn't see your name. It went up too fast. But listen, put the vapes down, people.
Absolutely.
I have asthma too. That's why I've been isolating since Wednesday night. And I'm taking this very seriously because I have asthma as well. And for anyone who smokes and does have a lung condition, we are at greater risk. So even more.
And there's lots of resources, telemedicine, reaching out to your doctor through email. It doesn't mean that we have to overwhelm the resources that we have if you have a concern, because most people are going to have milder symptoms or at best a flu and going to recover fully. So we really need to be smart about this. And make sure that the healthcare system that needs the services for people who are the sickest stays functional. That's really, really critical. And that's why your part here is going to be a key element to that.
Great. There's so many people online. I'm so happy. Brazil, Denmark. What is that flag? I can't see that flag. United States.
Yeah, I mean, if you've never done live, welcome to a new addiction. But I think it's great, and if we can, do this on a regular basis for the next 10 days, keep people, occupied and continue to spread the word. What a positive effect that is! I think it's going to be viral. No pun intended.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy we did this. I'm so happy that we spoke today. Thank you.
Make sure you save it so that it'll remain up in your stories.
Oh, okay.
That's really important.
I will ask my assistant how to do that. I won't bother you. I know you're busy. So should we wrap this up now?
Yeah, and then whoever else we could get to do the same thing, let's try to get the message out there. I think that would be really amazing. I think that we're going to see a really big story come out of this message.
Perfect. And if everybody who's watching this Insta Live right now could go on your phone and text your friends and make sure everybody in your circle, no matter how big or small, is practicing social distancing, is staying in, make challenges, get on TikTok, whatever you all have to do. We have the power to flatten this curve. So let's do it.
Thanks, Ellen.
Thanks, doctor.
All right. Everybody stay healthy.
Thanks.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.